now stop your nagging and go into that kitchen of yours, otherwise dinner will be spoiled.
Our dinner is going to be spoiled anyway. All these guests are going to be late and wasted on them. I'm glad I did not make souffle. Dinner will be a minute now. Just questions on dishing up.
Is everything all right, Rogers? Can you manage between the two of you?
Yes, miss. The sister talks a lot, but she gets things done.
What a lovely evening.
Yes, indeed. The weather has settled.
How plainly one can hear the sea.
A pleasant sound.
Hardly a breath of wind and deliciously warm. Not like England at all.
I would have thought, isn't that dress a little bit uncomfortable?
Oh, no.
I would say it's rather tight.
Oh, I don't think so.
You'll have to excuse me, my girl, but you are a young girl and you have your living to earn.
Yes?
A well-bred woman would not like her secretary to appear to be flashy. It looks as though you had deliberately tried to attract attention of other men.
And would you say I do attract them?
That's besides the point. A girl who deliberately sets out to attract attention of other men would not last long at the job.
Surely that depends on who she's working for.
Really, Miss Clifford.
Aren't you being a little unkind?
The young people nowadays behave in the most disgusting fashion.
Disgusting?
Yes, all these low-back summer dresses, lying around half naked on beaches, sunbathing. Nothing but an excuse for indecent behavior. Disgusting. And look at the men nowadays, decadent. Look at that young Marston. What good is he? And that Captain Lombard?
And what do you object to in Captain Lombard? I shall say that he is a man who has led a very varied and interesting life.
That man is an adventurer. The young men nowadays are of no good. No good at all.
You don't like youth, I see.
What do you mean?
Well, I was just remarking that you don't like young people.
And is there any reason why I should?
Oh, no. But you must miss an awful lot.
You are very impertinent.
I'm sorry, but that's just what I think.
This world will never improve till we stamp out all this immodesty.
Quite pathological.
What did you say?
Well, nothing.
What about the old boy?
Well, the old guy looks like they're rather tortoise to me.
All judges look like tortoises. They have this venomous way of darting their heads in and out, and that Mr. Justice Wargrave is no exception.
Oh, I didn't realize he was a judge.
Oh yes, he's the one responsible for sending more innocent people to death than anyone else in England. Oh, hello. Have you two met each other, Miss Claytor? Dr. Armstrong? Me and Dr. Armstrong were just talking about that the old boy.
Oh, yes, I heard you, and so did he, I think.
Oh, Sir Lawrence.
Miss Brent, is it?
Yes, I wanted to ask you something. Do you think you can step out with me for a minute?
Sure. It's a remarkable evening outside.
Absolutely bizarre car. A supercharged sports paralytic camera car. You don't see too many of them on the road. I can get over 100 out of her. I'm back from London. Yes, 208 miles. And you know what? I did it in a bit of 4 hours. Dutch 90 crossing the Salisbury Plain. Not too bad, huh?
I think you passed me on the road.
Oh, did I?
Yes, you nearly threw me into the ditch.
But you were the one footling in the middle of the road.
Footling, me,
Yes.
footling.
What about a drink, gentlemen? Good idea.
Help yourself, please. Good evening, Mrs. Owen.
Why, Mrs. Owen?
Well, you had made the most attractive wife for any wealthy businessman.
You always flirt so outrageously?
Always.
So now we know.
Yes, we know. All right, come on, tell me what that Miss Oldbred was talking to the judge about. She tried to buttonhole him upstairs.
I don't know. Funny. She seemed so definite that there wasn't a Mr. Owen.
So what do you think, that there isn't Mrs. Owen, or I mean that they aren't?
What, that they're married, you mean?
Damn shame we don't know each other. I could have given you a ride now.
Yes, that would have been grand.
Want to show you what I could do over the Salisbury Plain. Tell you what, how about we riding back together?
But
Well, it's damn silly. I got an empty car.
Well, but she likes the way she's going back, isn't it?
Oh, look, aren't they sweet? Those 10 little China soldiers. Oh, and there's the old nursery rhyme.
What are you talking about? What China soldiers? What nursery rhyme?
10 little soldier boys going out to dine. One choked his little self, and then there were 9. 9 little soldier boys sat up very late. One overslept himself, and then there were 8.
8 little soldier boys traveling to Devon. One got left behind, and then there were 7.
Please. You are charged with these indictments that you did respectively and at diverse times commit the following. Edward Armstrong, that you did cause the death of Louisa Marie Cleese. William Henry Bloor, that you brought about the death of James Stephen Lindor. Emily Caroline Brent, that you were responsible for the death of Beatrice Taylor. Vera Elizabeth Claythorne, that you killed Peter Ogilvy Hamilton. Philip Lombard, that you were guilty of the deaths of 21 men, members of an East African tribe. John Gordon Mackenzie, that you sent your wife's lover, Arthur Richmond, to his death. Anthony James Marston, that you were guilty of the murder of John and Lucy Combs. Rogers and Ethel Rogers, that you brought about the death of Jennifer Brady. Lawrence John Wargrave, that you were guilty of the murder of Edward Seaton. Prisoners at the bar, have you anything to say in your defense?
She just fainted. She'll be all right. Get some brandy.
Get some brandy.
Who turned on the record? It sounded like...
What's going on here? What kind of practical joke was that?
Who the devil turned that on?
What a heartless and impractical joke this is.
So you think this is a joke, do you?
What else it could be?
At the moment, I am not prepared to give an opinion.
That it is.
I think we must inquire what is going on here.
Sir, if I talk to her.
Dear me, dear me.
You just
pull
fainted.
yourself together. Did I faint?
Yes, you'll be okay. Where's the brandy?
Oh, that voice, that awful voice, just like the judgment. I know. I feel much better now. Oh, it just gave me a turn.
Gave me a turn to these wicked lies. I should like to know.
Who put the record on the gramophone? Was it you, Rogers?
I was just obeying orders, sir.
Let me get this straight. Whose orders?
Well, Mr. Owens,
Mr. Owen's orders were what exactly?
I was to go to the study and take this record and put it on the gramophone, sir.
A remarkable story.
Sir, it's the truth. By heavens, it's the truth. I was just given orders and I thought this was all just to give you some music.
Is there a title?
Yes, sir. It's entitled The Swan Song.
The whole thing is preposterous. Preposterous. Slinging accusations about like this, something must be done about it. This fellow, whoever he is.
That's just it. Who is he?
We must inquire into that. But first, may I suggest, Rogers, to take your sister up to the bedroom and get back here right away.
Yes, sir.
I'll give you a hand.
Don't know about this, sir, but I think I need another drink.
I agree.
I'll get them.
Preposterous. That's what it is, preposterous.
Whiskey for you, Sir Lawrence.
Thank you.
Can I have a glass of water, please?
She'll be all right. I have given her a sedative.
Yes, I'll get it. I shall like a glass of whiskey, too.
Now, Doctor, you want to drink after all of this?
No, thank you. I don't drink.
Oh, that's right. General, you have this one? Melville Rogers, we must get to the bottom of this. Tell us, what do you know about Mr. Owen?
He owns this place, sir.
I am aware of the fact. Tell us, what do you yourself know about Mr. Owen?
Nothing much, sir. You see, I have never seen him.
What do you mean? You have never seen him?
But, sir, we were employed by an agency, the Regina, in Plymouth.
That's a high-class firm. We can look into that. Have you got any sort of a letter?
The letter engaging us? Yes, sir.
Go on.
Well, sir, as the letter said, we got here on the 4th. The house was in order. Everything was in place. Just needed a little bit of dusting and that.
What's next?
Well, sir, we got the orders to prepare for the house for a party of 8. And we were told to take care of all of you. And today by the Morning Post, I got another letter saying that Mr. and Mrs. Owen will be detained, and that we were supposed to do the best that we could to accommodate every one of you.
Headed Ritz Hotel and typewritten. Coronation machine number 5. Most common make, no defects. We can brush it for fingerprints, but we won't get much out of this. It's been handled too much.
Quite the little detective you are.
Got some fancy Christian name, hasn't he? Ulick Norman Owen, quite a mouthful.
I'm obliged to you, Mr. Marston, but you have brought my attention to a very curious and suggestive point. But I think the time has come for us to pool in on information that we have about our unknown friend and come forward how we all came to this island. We all are all his guests, and we must share how that came about.
There is something very peculiar about all this. I received a letter with a signature that was not very easy to read. It claimed to be from someone I had met at a summer resort a couple of years ago. I read it to be Ogden. I am quite certain I have never known anyone by the name of Owen.
Have you got the letter, Miss Brent?
Yes, let me fetch it for you.
Thank you. Miss Claiborne?
I wanted a holiday post, so I applied to a secretarial agency. Miss Grenfell's in London. She offered me the post and I accepted.
So you were not ever interviewed by your prospective employer?
No. Here's the letter.
Thank you. Received your name from Miss Grenfell's agency. I understand that she knows you personally. I shall be glad to pay you the salary you ask and expect you to take up the duties. Having enclosed £5 for expenses, yours truly, Una Nancy Owen. Thank you. Mr. Marston?
Don't actually know the Owens. Got a letter from the pal of mine, Latchable, asked me to relocate. Surprised me a bit because I had an idea that the old guy had gone to North, and I did not get the why.
Thank you. Dr. Armstrong.
Well, in the circumstances, I may admit that my visit here was professional. Mr. Owen told me that he was worried about his wife's health, or nerves to be precise, and he wanted a report on her without she getting alarmed. And that's why he suggested that I be regarded as an ordinary guest.
So you did not know anyone from the family, did you?
No.
But you had no issues answering the summons?
Well, a colleague of mine was mentioned, and a handsome piece was suggested, and I was due for my vacation anyway.
Thank you, Miss Brent. That sounds about right. phones all night.
Ah,
You're
like-
correct. This
Ah.
letter is quite ambiguous.
I like the nudity touch.
Here's my own letter, decoy letter, written to me by my friend, Lady Constance Culmington. She talks about her usual vague manner and talks about our host and hostesses in the most vaguest of terms.
Look here, I just thought of
In
something.
a minute. We will deal with one thing at a time, Captain Lombard. General Mackenzie.
Got a letter from this fellow Owen. Thought I must have met him sometime at the club. Mentioned some old cronies of mine who were to be here. Hoped I'd excuse this informal invitation. Haven't kept the letter, I'm afraid.
Thank you. And you, Captain Lombard.
Same sort of thing. A letter mentioning some mutual friends. I haven't kept the letter either.
Thank you. We all have had a very disturbing moment right here. A very disembodied voice spoke to all of us by name and leveled a string of accusations. We will deal with those accusations presently, but first I have to bring our attention to a very curious and suggestive point. Amongst the names spoken was one William Henry Bloor. As far as we know, there is no one by the name Bloor amongst us. There was no mention of Davis. What do you have to say about that, Mr. Davis?
Cat's out of the bag, it seems. I should admit my name isn't Davis.
So you are William Henry Bloor?
That's right. I would like to add something to that. Not only you are here under a false name, Mr. Bloor, but this fine evening, I have noticed that you are a first-class liar. You claim to say that you're from Natal, South Africa, huh? Too bad. I know Natal and South Africa very well, and I can swear you have never set your foot there in your life.
You gentlemen have got me all wrong. I'm an ex-CID man.
Oh, a copper!
I've got my credentials, I can prove it. I run a detective agency in Plymouth. I was put on to this job.
By who?
By Mr. Owen. Sent a nice money order for all expenses and said I was to come here posing as a guest. He sent a list with all your names and said I was to keep an eye on all of them.
Any reasons given?
By Mrs. Owen. Said she had some valuable jewelry. Mrs. Owen. My foot, don't believe such a person exists.
Your conclusions, I think, are justified. Ulick, Norman Owen, Una Nancy Owen. Each time to say UN Owen, or by slight stretch, unknown.
But it's fantastic. Mad.
I have no doubt in my mind that we've been invited here by a madman, a dangerous, homicidal lunatic.
Oh my God!
Whoever it is who has enticed us on this island has taken a great deal of effort in gathering information about us. And concerning that information, has leveled a string of accusations.
It's all very well to make accusations.
Back of damn
Singing
lies.
witches.
Lies! Lies! Wicked lies! All of
I'll
them!
say one thing. Our friend accuses me of murder of one Edward Seaton. I remember Edward Seaton from a trial of June of 1930. He was accused of murder of an elderly woman. The jury liked him, and I believe he was ably defended. Nonetheless, based on evidence, I knew he was guilty. I summed up, and the jury passed a verdict of guilty. An appeal was lodged in the court based on misdirection, was squashed, and Seaton was executed. My conscience is absolutely clear. I followed the law and passed sentence on a rightfully convicted murderer.
Do you know Seaton at all, Judge? I mean, personally.
I did not know Seaton prior to the trial.
The old boy is lying. I swear he's lying.
Fellow is a madman. Absolute madman. Got a bee in his bonnet. Got hold of the wrong end of the stick all around. Best really to leave this sort of things unanswered. However feel I ought to say, no truth. No truth in whatever he said about Arthur Richmond. Richmond was one of my officers. I sent him on a mission. He was killed. Also like to say, reasoned very much. Slur on my wife. Been dead a long time ago. Best woman in the world. Absolutely Caesar's wife.
On and music comps must have been a couple of kids I ran over near Cambridge. Beastly bad luck.
For them or for you?
Well, I was looking for me. But you're right, sir. Damn bad luck for them too. But they were the one running out of some cottage or the other. And you know what? I had my license suspended for a year. Beast in nuisance.
Speeding is all wrong. And young men like you are a danger to the society.
It was a pure accident.
Ah,
Might I say a word, sir?
Go ahead, Rogers.
There was a mention, sir, of me, Ethan, and Miss Jennifer Brady. Miss Brady was always ill ever since we were employed with her. The night that she died, there was a huge thunderstorm, and all the lights, everything was out of order. The telephone lines were out of order. I went on foot to fetch the doctor, but by the time the doctor arrived, Miss Brady had already died. We did everything in our power so that we could. Loyal to her we were, and there was never a word said against us, sir. Never a word.
Got a nice little something after her death, though, didn't she?
Miss Brady left us a legacy in recognition of her faithful services. And why not, may I ask?
What about yourself, Mr. Bloor? What about me? Well, your name was on the list too.
I know. Lender, you mean. The London commercial bank robbery. I remember Lender. Though he did not come before me for trial, he was accused of a bank robbery, and I believe you were the officer in charge.
I was, my lad.
Lender got penal servitude for life and died in Dartmoor a year later. He was a delicate man.
He was a crook. He was the one that put the night watchman out. The case was clear from the start.
And I believe you were complimented for the able handling of the case.
I was. I got my promotion. I was only doing my duty. Duty. A very convenient word, huh? Duty. What about yourself, Dr. Armstrong?
well, I'm at the loss to understand the matter. This name means nothing to me. What was it? Please, close. I don't remember any patient by this name or it being connected to death in any way. This thing is a complete mystery to me. And of course, it's a long time ago. Well, it could be one of my operation cases in the hospital. They come too many and too late. And whenever the patient dies, it's always the surgeon's fault.
And then it's always better to give up surgeries and take up no cases. Well, some of course give up drink.
I protest. You have no right to insinuate such things.
My dear fellow, I never suggested you did. Anyway, Mr. Unknown Owen is the only one who knows all the facts.
Miss Claythorne.
I was nursery governess to Peter Hamilton. We were in Cornwall for the summer. He was forbidden to swim out far. One day when my attention was distracted, he swam out. I couldn't get to him in time.
Was there an inquest?
Yes, I was exonerated by the coroner. His mother didn't do anything to him.
Thank you. Miss Brent,
I have nothing to say.
you have nothing to say,
Nothing.
so you reserve your defense.
There is no question of defense. I have always acted by the dictates of my conscience.
What a lot of law-abiding people we are. Myself accepted.
We are waiting for your story, Captain Lombard.
I haven't got any story.
What do you mean you haven't got a story?
I'm sorry to disappoint all of you, but I'm afraid. It's the truth. I left those natives in the bush. Matter of self-preservation, you know.
You abandoned your men?
I'm sorry, not act of a proper gentleman, I'm afraid. But self-preservation is men's first duty. And natives don't mind dying, you know. They don't feel about it as Europeans do.
We rest our inquiry. Now, Rogers, tell us, who is on this island besides us, you and your sister?
Nobody, sir, nobody at all.
Are you quite sure of that?
Quite sure, sir.
Don't go, Rogers. I am not so clear as to the purpose of our unknown host inviting us on this island, but I'm pretty sure he's not in the same sense of mind. He may be dangerous. I suggest that we leave this island as soon as possible I think we should leave this island tonight.
Well, you'll pardon me, sir, but there is no boat on the island.
What do you mean there is no boat?
No boat, sir, no boat at all.
Can you not telephone the mainland?
There are no telephone lines here, sir. Friend Agatha, he comes in the mornings with the papers, the post, and any messages.
A bit unspoken, what? Fellas, I tell you, we have to solve this mystery before we get out of this place. The whole thing sounds like a detective story. Positive thrill.
In my time of life, I have no desire for thrills.
The legal life is narrow, and I am all for the crime. Here to it.
Wait, guys. He's dead.
Dead?
He's dead.
Do you mean the fellow just choked and died?
You can call it choking, but he died of asphyxiation, just right enough.
Never knew a man could die like that, just of a choking fit.
In the middle of life, we are in death.
You can call it mere choking, General McKenzie, but Marston death is not what we call as natural death.
Was there something in the whiskey?
Yes, by the smell of it, looks like cyanide. Potassium cyanide maybe works very, very instantaneously.
So what do you suggest, that the guy put the stuff himself in the glass?
Suicide, huh? That's strange.
He was so alive. He was enjoying himself.
Look, there is one of the soldiers of the mantelpiece. Broken.
What? We have been to the top. There is no sign of anybody.
It's very early still.
There are no caves. There is no sign of anybody's boat. There is no sign of the boat yet.
You should have been here by now. Still no sign of breakfast. Where's that fellow Rogers?
Oh, let's not worry about breakfast.
We must get out of here before it's too late. It's absurd not keeping a boat on the island.
I agree. And if you ask me, Rogers was very much rattled last night. He had the gas leak, the whole thing.
She had his wind knocked out of her property. You know, I take an even bet that she and your sister get that old lady in. Say, suppose she hopped it.
Who, Rogers?
Yes,
I don't think so. She could have done it, and there's no boat on the island. You said so.
yes, but we've only Rogers work for that. Suppose there is one, and she's taking it first thing in the morning.
Oh no! She wouldn't be allowed to leave the island.
Sleep well, General.
I dreamed. Yes, I dreamed.
I don't wonder at that.
I dreamed of Leslie, my wife, you know.
Where is Narracott? I wish you would get her quick.
Who is Narracott?
The bloke who brought us over yesterday.
Was it only yesterday?
I know what you mean. Suicides, unexpected deaths. It's all about a man consent. I won't be sorry to see the back of this island, I give you my word.
So you don't understand. How strange.
What's that, General?
Wait, I don't like the look of him.
I reckon young Marsh's suicide was pretty harsh on him.
Where's the young poor fellow now?
Well, I put him in the study. I put him there myself.
Dr. Armstrong, I suppose it was suicide.
Well, possibly. What else it could be?
I don't know, but suicide?
It's a pretty nasty thought, I agree.
It's difficult how he could...
He was just standing up there. Anybody could have dropped a dollop of cyanide in it if they wanted to.
Oh, there you are, sir, there you are. Can you please come with me? My sister,
Is she still under the weather?
Please come with me, sir.
You guys won't leave without me, would you?
I wish the boat would come. I hate this place. Are you hungry, General? Feeling like breakfast?
Leslie, my dear.
No, I'm Vera Claythorne.
Of course. Forgive me, young lady. I took you for my wife.
Oh?
I was waiting for her, you see.
But I thought your wife was dead, long ago.
Yes, I thought so too, but I was wrong. She is here, on this island.
Good morning.
Good morning, Captain Lombard.
Hello? That's strange.
What is?
Do you remember we found one of these little fellows smashed last night?
Yes, and that ought to leave 9.
Yes, that ought to leave 9, but I'm sure there were 10 of them when we arrived.
Well,
Ethan is
There are
dead.
only...
Huh? No. How?
She died in her sleep. Rogers thought that she is still under the influence of the sleeping draught I gave her. She came down, did the room, did the fire, went up, and when she had not appeared, the look of her came down and went for hunting for me. Ethan has been dead for 5 hours.
What was it? Her heart?
Well, possibly.
It must have been young Marston's suicide. It must have been hard on her.
Yeah, that's a possibility, but we can't tell it without an autopsy.
She was a very nervous-looking creature. She had a bad fright last night. Perhaps it was heart failure.
Well, her heart certainly failed to beat, but what caused it to fail?
Conscience.
What do you mean by that, Miss Brent?
You all heard last night. She, along with her sister, were accused of murdering their former employer. And the old lady,
And you believe that to be true, Miss Brent?
certainly. You all saw her last night. She was completely broken down and fainted. The shock of having her wickedness exposed to the world was too much for her to bear. She literally died of fear.
Well, that's a possible theory, but one cannot adopt it without knowing the exact state of her health, whether there was any latent cardiac weakness.
Call it, if you want, an act of God.
Oh, no, Miss Brent.
Why? You find it as impossible that a sinner be struck by the wrath of God? I do not.
In my experience of ill-doing, Providence leaves the work of conviction to us mortals. And the path is often fraught with difficulties. There are no shortcuts.
Okay, let's be practical. What did she have to eat and drink last night after she went to bed?
Nothing.
Nothing at all? Not a glass of water or a cup of tea? I bet you she had a cup of tea.
Well, Rogers told me that she had absolutely nothing.
Well, of course she said that.
So is that your idea?
Well, you heard the accusation. What if it's true? Miss Brent certainly thinks it is. Rogers and her sister did that old lady in, and they're feeling quite safe and happy about it, too.
Happy?
Well, you see, they know they're in no immediate danger. Then some lunatic last night goes and spills the beans. What happens? It's the sister that cracks. Did you see Rogers? Not very consoling, if you ask me. She was like a cat on hot bricks. They've done a murder and got away with it. But if there's one person who spilled the beans, it's Agatha. She doesn't have the nerve to tough it out. She's a danger to her sister. So what does Rogers do? Slips a little dollop of something into her tea, and when she's had it, she washes the cup and saucer and tells the doctor she ain't had
dim sum and canned fruits and a little bit of fried potatoes. Would that suffice?
Well, when is the boat coming?
I'm afraid, sir, there's no boat that's coming.
What?
Yes, sir. Fred Narafon's here by 8:30 in the morning, and he is not. Would that be all this?
It's not Rogers. Her sister lying dead upstairs and she's cooking breakfast, calmly talking about lunch, and now she says the boat won't be coming? How the hell does she know that?
Mr. Bloor.
What is it?
Don't you see? She's dazed. She's carrying on automatically as a good servant would. It's pathetic, really.
She's pulling a fast one, if you ask me.
The real significant failure is of the boat to arrive. I think we have deliberately been cut off from help.
That's very little time. Very little time.
What's that, General?
Very little time. We shouldn't waste it by talking things which don't matter.
Why do you think Narcot hasn't turned up yet?
I think the ubiquitous Mr. Owen has given orders.
Warning. My God, yes. This 10 little soldier boy Ryan. This is our warning. When Narcot left us, there were 10 of us, weren't we? And then what does the Ryan say? 10 little soldier boys went out to die. One choked himself, and then there were 9. One choked himself. This part fits Anthony Marston pretty well, doesn't it? And further, 9 little soldier boys set up very late. One overslept herself, and then there were 8. One overslept herself. Doesn't this part fit Ethel really well? Don't you agree with me?
You mean, you think she wants to kill us all?
This is coincidence. Just a coincidence.
Just 8 little soldier boys on this island right now. Do you think that's coincidence too?
Which one fits with the rhyme?
What do you think, Lord? Don't you agree with me?
I don't like it.
What about yourself, Sir Lawrence?
Up to a point, yes.
Then I say we must not waste any time. Come on, Armstrong. Come on, Lord. Let's make a short work of it.
Okay, but hold on. Does anybody by any chance have a revolver, or is that just too much to hope for?
I got one.
Huh. Always carry that about with you.
Usually, I have led a very adventurous life, you know.
Okay. Well, I suggest Lombard search the house while we do the island.
All ought to be easy. No sliding panels, no secret passages.
Let's go.
Mind doesn't get you before you get him.
Don't worry about me, but you to remember, one got left behind.
Come on, Armstrong.
Come on.
Quite an energetic young man, Captain Lombard.
Well, don't you agree? If someone is hiding on the island, they'll be bound to find him. It's practically bare rock.
I think the problem requires brains rather than brawn for its solution.
Well, where are you going?
I am going to sit in the sun and think, my dear young lady.
Where did I keep that theater full?
Have you left it upstairs? Shall I go and see if I can find it?
No, that's okay. I think I'll know where it is. I'll go and pick it.
I'm glad Captain Lombard has got a revolver.
They're all wasting time. Wasting time.
You think so?
Yes, it's much better to sit quietly and wait
Wait for what?
for the end. Of course, I wish I could find Leslie.
Your wife?
Yes, I wish you would know her. She was so pretty, so gay.
Was she?
Yes, I loved her very much. Of course, I was a lot older than she was. She was only 27, you know. Arthur Richmond was 26. Leslie, that's very little time. Very little time.
What's that, General?
Very little time. We shouldn't waste it by talking things which don't matter.
Why do you think Narcot hasn't turned up yet?
I think the ubiquitous Mr. Owen has given orders.
Warning. My God, yes. This 10 little soldier boy Ryan. This is our warning. When Narcot left us, there were 10 of us, weren't we? And then what does the Ryan say? 10 little soldier boys went out to dine. One choked himself, and then there were 9. One choked himself. This part with Anthony Marston pretty well, doesn't it? And further, 9 little soldier boys sat up very late. One overslept herself, and then there were 8. One overslept herself. Doesn't this part fit Ethel really well? Don't you agree with me?
You mean, you think she wants to kill us all?
This is coincidence. Just a coincidence.
Just 8 little soldier boys on this island right now. Do you think that's coincidence too?
Which one fits with the rhyme?
What do you think, Lord? Don't you agree with me?
I don't like it.
What about yourself, Sir Lawrence?
Up to a point, yes.
Then I say we must not waste any time. Come on, Armstrong. Come on, Lord. Let's make a short work of it.
Okay, but hold on. Does anybody by any chance have a revolver, or is that just too much to hope for?
I got one.
Always carry that about with you.
Usually, I have led a very adventurous life, you know.
Okay. Well, I suggest Lombard search the house while we do the island.
All ought to be easy. No sliding panels, no secret passages.
Let's go.
Mind doesn't get you before you get him.
Don't worry about me, but you to remember, one got left behind.
Come on, Armstrong.
Come on.
What an energetic young man, Captain Lombard.
Well, don't you agree? If someone is hiding on the island, they'll be bound to find him. It's practically bare rock.
I think the problem requires brain rather than brawn for its solution.
Well, where are you going?
I am going to sit in the sun and think, my dear young lady.
Where did I keep that theater full?
Have you left it upstairs? Shall I go and see if I can find it?
No, that's okay. I think I'll know where it is. I'll go and pick it.
I'm glad Captain Lombard has got a revolver.
They're all wasting time. Wasting time.
You think so?
Yes, it's much better to sit quietly and wait
Wait for what?
for the end. Of course, I wish I could find Leslie.
Your wife?
Yes, I wish you'd know her. She was so pretty, so gay.
Was she?
Yes, I loved her very much. Of course, I was a lot older than she was. She was only 27, you know. Arthur Richmond was 26. Leslie liked him. They used to talk of music and plays together. She teased him and made fun of him. I was pleased. I thought she took a motherly interest in the boy. Damn good, wasn't I? No fool like an old fool. Exactly like a book the way I found out. When I was out in France, she wrote to both of us and put the letters in the wrong envelope. So I knew.
Oh no.
It's all right, my dear. It's a long time ago. But you see, I loved her very much. Believed in her. I didn't say anything to him. I let it gather a slow, murderous rage. Damned young hypocrite. I had liked the boy, trusted him.
I wonder what the others are doing.
I sent him to his death.
Oh,
It was quite easy. Mistakes were being made all the time. All anyone could say was that I had lost my nerve a bit, made a blunder, sacrificed one of my best men. Yes, it was quite easy. Leslie never knew. I never told her that I had found out. We went on as usual. But somehow, nothing was quite real anymore. She died of pneumonia. She had hard-shaped face, grey eyes, and brown hair that curled.
oh, don't.
Yes, I suppose in a way it was a murder. Curious murder. And I have always been a law-abiding man. It didn't feel like at that time. Serves him damn well right, that's what I thought. But after, well, You know, don't you? You don't seem to understand. I thought you would. I thought you would be glad to that end was coming.
I don't know.
We're all going to die, you know.
General,
It's okay, my dear. You haven't got to that yet. The relief, the blessed relief, when you know that you have done with it all, that you haven't got to carry the burden any longer.
General!
Don't talk to me that way. You don't understand. I want to sit here and wait for Leslie to come for me.
I'm frightened. Oh, I'm frightened.
All correct. No secret passage. One corpse.
Don't!
I see you do look low. Please let me give you a drink.
A drink? 2 corpses at 9 o'clock in the morning, and all you say, have a drink? An old man gone quite crackers, have a drink? 9 people accused of murder, and all you say, have a drink? Everything's fine, just as long as you have a drink.
All right, stay thirsty.
Disgusting. I can't find it anywhere. Anything the matter?
I'm worried about the general. He really is ill, I think.
Looking for the boat, General? His sin has found him out.
Oh, don't.
One has to face facts.
Can any of us afford to throw stones?
Even if his wife was not as good as she should have been, and I think she was a depraved woman, he had no right to take judgment in his own hands.
What about Beatrice Taylor? Yes, that was the name, wasn't it?
Are you referring to that absurd accusation against me?
Yes.
Now that we are alone, I have no objection to telling you the facts of the case. In fact, I want you to hear them. It was not a fit subject to be discussed in front of a gentleman. That's why I didn't say anything last night. That girl, Beatrice Taylor, was in my service. She was young and well-mannered and clean. I was very pleased with her. But of course, that was sheerest hypocrisy. She was a loose girl with no morals. It was just some time before I found out that she was, in what they say, trouble. Disgusting. It was a big shock for us. Her parents were decent folks and had brought her up rather strictly.
What happened?
Naturally, I refused to keep her under my roof. No one can claim that I condoned immorality.
Well, did she drown herself?
Yes,
How old was she?
17.
Only 17.
Yes, old enough to know how to behave. I told her what a depraved thing she was. I told her that she was beyond the pale and that no decent family would ever keep her under their roof. I told her that her child was a child of sin and it will be branded all its life. I told her that even the thought of having her under my roof made me feel so soiled.
You told a girl of 17 all that?
Yes, and I'm very glad to say, broke her down completely. I have no patience for this indulgence with sin.
And then I suppose you turned her out of the house.
Yes,
And what did you feel like when, and she didn't dare go home. What did you feel like when she found out she drowned herself?
feel like
Yes, didn't you blame yourself?
there is nothing to blame. I have nothing to reproach myself with.
I believe you really felt like that. And that's what makes it even more horrible.
That girl is imbalanced. Breakfast is getting cold. Be quiet.
Reading aloud, Miss Brent.
I have a custom of reading a portion of the Bible every day.
Very good habit, I'm sure of it.
What luck did you have?
We have been to the top, searched everywhere, No caves, nothing. There's no place to hide anywhere on the island.
That's right. What about the house, Lombard?
I'll stake my life for this. There is no one in this house but ourselves. I have searched the house from attic to cellar.
Breakfast is getting cold.
Breakfast! Come on, Lord. You have been yelping for breakfast ever since you got up. Let's eat, drink, and be merry. For tomorrow we die. Perhaps today.
Captain Lombard, you should be ashamed of your levity.
Come on, General. Can't have this. Breakfast, I say, sir. Come on. Oh, good God. You don't think. There's a knife in Mackenzie's back.
Wait. You see. He's dead. He's dead. Ow, there's only us on the island. Who could have done it?
Exactly, my dear sir. Don't you see? This very clever and cunning criminal is always a stage ahead of us and knows exactly where we are. He takes steps accordingly. There's only one place on this island where such a clever and cunning criminal can commit murder and have a reasonable chance of getting away with it.
One place? Where?
In this room, Mr. Owen is one of us.
Which of us?
And remaining guests are suspicious. What plan unfolds? Let's see.
Sir Lawrence,
Well, Mr. Bloor,
I like what you said this morning. I wanted to get you along. I agree with you. I think this damn murderer is one of us. And I think I know which one.
really?
Yes. Ever heard of the Lizzie Borden case? Old couple killed with an axe in the middle of the night. The only person who could have done it was the teenager. Middle-aged, respectable young woman. Incredible. So incredible that they acquitted her. But they never found any other explanation.
So you suspect Miss Brent, is it?
That's right. She's as mad as a hatter. Religious mad, I tell you. She's the one that we must keep an eye on.
But I thought your suspicions were always in a different quarter.
Yes, but I've changed my mind. And I'll tell you why. She knows she's in no danger. And she's not scared. Why? Because she's in no danger at all. And she's the only one who isn't scared. Okay.
I made some coffee. It's cold in here. All the same, it's a nightmare. What are we supposed to do? Are they back yet?
We must hold an informal court of inquiry. That way we will be able to eliminate some innocent people.
You haven't got a hunch of any kind, have you, Miss Claythorne?
If Miss Claythorne suspects one of us, that'll be a rather awkward question.
I don't think it's any of you, but if you ask me who I suspected, I'd say Dr. Armstrong.
Armstrong?
Well, yes, because don't you see? He's had far and away the best chance to kill Ethel. Terribly easy for him, as a doctor, to give her an overdose of sleeping stuff.
Yes, but Armstrong wasn't the one that gave her the drink, remember?
Our sister did have some good opportunity of administering her drug, though.
It's not Rogers. She doesn't have the brain nor the money to fix it. Plus, she's not scared.
It's something like the storm.
You're awfully wet.
Is anyone a swimmer? Can we swim to the mainland?
It's over a mile from here. You'd be dashed on the rocks and drowned.
Drowned in the pond.
I beg your pardon, Miss Brent.
Pardon me, sir, but does anyone know what has happened of the top bathroom curtain?
Ready, Rogers? Have you gone bad stew?
The bathroom curtain?
Yes, sir, a scarlet oil silk. I
Anybody seen a scarlet oil-sing bathroom curtain? I'm afraid Roger's no good.
Quite well, sir. I'll get some sticks and some knobs of wood lighted with fire.
Everything here is odd.
Has anyone seen Dr. Armstrong?
Oh, I think someone has batted him one man out.
Captain Lombard, Mr. Blower, I assure you not to be too confident. We are in great danger, and I would like to suggest some measures of safety.
Against whom?
Against each other, of course. Of the 10 people who came to this island, 3 are definitely dead. That leaves 7 of us. 7 little soldier boys.
One of which is a bogus little soldier boy.
Exactly.
Well, in spite of what Ms. Clayton just said, I'd like to say that you and Dr. Armstrong are above suspicion. Dr. Armstrong is a well-known doctor, and you're known all over England.
Mr. Blower, that proves nothing. Judges have been known to go mad. So have doctors, and why not? So have policemen.
You're here, Will. Doesn't she want some coffee?
She'd rather make herself a nice cup of tea. What about Dr. Armstrong? Do you think we ought to take him up a cup?
I'll take it up if you like.
I need to change anyway. I'll take it.
Yes, you ought to. You'll catch a cold.
Captain Lombard, Dr. Armstrong doesn't accept so, but I don't think he's very fond of your revolver.
Ah, the revolver. I'd like to talk to you about that.
All right. What are you going to say, Lord?
I'd like to know why you brought a revolver on what's supposed to be a little social visit.
You do you? I have led a very adventurous life. I have been in a bit of a jam once or twice. It's a pleasant feeling to keep a gun handy. Don't you agree with me, Blower?
We don't carry that on this island.
Oh, well,
I'd like to know why you have one.
You're such a damn suspicious fellow, Blower.
I know a fishy story when I hear one.
If it's about that revolver, I would love to hear that story.
All right. I received a letter asking me to come down here as guest of Mr. and Mrs. Owen. It would be worth my while. The writer said he had heard about me, that I have a reputation of being a good man in tight places. There will be some danger involved, but I'll be all right if I kept my eyes open.
That's a tall story. If it's true, why didn't he tell it to us last night?
Maybe he's thinking and thought that this is the exact danger he is being prepared for.
Perhaps it is.
I hardly think so. Looks like Mr. Owen's little bit of tease to trap him with all of us here. Maybe Mr. Owen knew him well enough to rely on his curiosity.
I don't think so. I wouldn't agree to that.
Are you such a good judge of truth?
I think we must get out of here. We must get out of here before it's too late. We must get out of here.
Gentlemen, one thing we must not do is to give away to our nerves.
I'm sorry. It's rather a case of physician heal thyself. I have been overworked and run down lately.
Sleeping badly.
Well, yes, I've been dreaming. Hospitals, operations, knife at my throat.
Real nightmares.
Yes, Judge. What about you? Have you been dreaming? Like you being in court and sentencing somebody to death?
Are you by any chance referring to a man called Edward Seaton? I assure you, I do not lose my sleep over Edward Seaton. He was a particularly cold and brutal murderer. The jury would like him and were inclined to let him go. I could see that, however, and I cooked Seaton's goose.
She's been a while. Where is she?
She said she'd gone to get some sticks.
Sticks. Sticks, my God, sticks!
Oh my God!
Where the hell, Blower, you are off like a madman.
They are just 5. 2
5?
of them are gone.
5?
Have you seen Rogers?
Why? Why should I?
Well, Philip, I thought it was you.
All right. But 2?
Yes, there are only 5. 2 little soldiers have gone.
In the scullery.
Is she?
She's dead.
What?
How?
Somebody must have axed her while she was bent over the wood box.
Don't look at me that way. That's the next verse, isn't it? 6 little soldier boys playing with a hive. A bumblebee stung one. And then there were 5. We all look pretty spry. Nothing wrong with any of us. Oh God. A hypodermic syringe.
The modern police thing.
While we were sitting there, one of us.
One of us.
Which one of us?
Five little soldier boys sitting in a row, watching each other and waiting for the blow. New version, up to date.
I tell you, we shall all be dead, all but one. He's thinking something else, and he's thinking something now.
Who are Louise? What was her name? Louise? What was it, doctor? Was it nose that made you do her in?
No drink. I used to be a heavy drinker, and I was drunk when I operated. Quite a simple operation. My hand shaking all over the place. I remember her now, a big, heavy country woman, and I killed her.
So I was right. That's how it was.
Yeah, sister knew, of course. She was loyal to me or the hospital. I gave up drinking altogether and went in for the study of nervous diseases.
Very unsuccessfully.
Yeah, 1 or 2 lucky shots, good results with 1 or 2 important women that they spoke to their friends. I've been busy and top of the tree, you see.
Until Mr. Unknown Owen. And down will come doctor and cradle and all.
Will you stop your damnable sneering and joking?
Gentlemen, one thing we must not do is to quarrel.
Fine by me. I apologize.
If you're feeling so fidgety, we're adopting the only measures possible. As long as we all remain together, all within sight of each other, the terrible repetition of tragedies that have occurred is and must be impossible. We've all given out to a search, therefore we know that no man is either armed with a firearm or any knife about his person. Nor does anyone has cyanide or drug. Therefore, as I say, if we all remain together, nothing can happen. How are we out for cigarettes?
I haven't got any.
I have run them out too.
Fortunately, I'm a pipe smoker.
I've got a box upstairs in my suitcase. I'll go and get them. I could use a cigarette myself. See that you all stay where you are.
Not bad, this biscuit.
What are they, cheese?
Cheese and celery.
I don't
That girl ought to have had some.
I don't think her nerves are in a good state.
I don't agree there with you, Doctor. I see Miss Claythorne as a quite resourceful and cool young lady. Quite remarkably so.
So is that your idea? That she's the guilty party?
Hardly likely. A woman.
You and I, Doctor, see women from slightly different angles.
Does anyone take a spot of whiskey?
Oh, I like the idea, provided we tackle an unopened bottle. It's that time drawn up the stairs, blowing away all the candles. Wait, don't worry. I'll light them.
Where's Dr. Armstrong?
I'm searching for the matches.
Don't worry about matches. Please get me some more candles.
I was bored to death. It went right around my throat.
What did?
The door was open in my room and it blew out the candles as I opened the door. And then a long strand of seaweed came down and touched my throat. I thought in the dark that I was being strangled by a wet hand.
Oh, no wonder you yelled.
Who hung the seaweed there?
That not I'm sure of. But once I find out, he'll be sorry he was ever born.
Who's that?
Here we go. Who fired that shot?
Oh, Armstrong, what's the matter?
He's dead. Shot through the head.
One got in Chancery, and then there were 4.
Vera!
Miss Clayton.
You got me out of the way. You got me to go upstairs for cigarettes. You did it all so you could kill that helpless old man in the dark. You're mad. All of you crazy. That's why you wanted the knitting wood and the red oil silk curtain. Oh my God. It was planned all from the start. Oh my God. Let me get out of here.
Miss Clayton.
Sitting in a row, thinking as they guzzle. Who's next to go?
Oh, Philip.
That's all right, Miss Claythorne. I don't mind joking on a full stomach.
All the same, I was hungry, but at the same time, I don't think I shall ever fancy tin tongue again.
I was wanting that meal. Feel like a new man.
Well, we have been nearly 24 hours without food, and that does lower the morale.
Somehow in the daylight, everything seems different.
But you must not forget, there's a dangerous homicidal lunatic somewhere loose on this island.
Why is it that one doesn't feel jittery about it anymore?
Well, of course, beyond any possible doubt, now we know who it is. Abdur?
That's right.
It was the uncertainty before, looking at each other, thinking which of us.
I said all along it was Dr. Armstrong.
Oh, you did, my sweet, you did. Until, of course, you went completely bad and suspected all of us.
It seems rather silly in the light of day.
Very silly.
Allowing it is Armstrong. What's happened to him?
Well, you know what he wants us to think has happened to him.
What exactly did you find?
One shoe. Just one shoe. Sitting prettily on the cliff edge. In prints, Dr. Armstrong has gone off his onion and committed suicide.
All very circumstantial, even to one broken soldier over there in the doorway.
Seems rather overdramatic. A man wouldn't think of doing that if he was going to drown himself.
Quite so. But we are certain that he did not drown himself. But he had to make it appear as he was the 7th victim, all according to his master plan.
Suppose he really is dead.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Clayton, but I've been suspicious about death without bodies.
And to think that there are 5 dead bodies in there, and here we are sitting and eating tin tongue.
The delightful feminine disregards for the facts. There are not 5, but 6 dead bodies in the house.
Oh, no. She's right. There are only 5.
Then what about Ethel?
I counted her. She makes 5.
All right. Now look here. Anthony Marston, 1. Emily Brent, 2. Rogers, 3. Ethel, 4. General Mackenzie, 5. And Sir Lawrence, 6.
7, 8, 9, 10. Armstrong. Sorry, sir. You're right.
Well, don't you think it would be an idea if you break down Ethel and show her in the morgue too?
I'm a detective, not an undertaker.
For heaven's sake, stop talking about dead bodies. The point is, Armstrong murdered them.
She's right. We should have realized it was Armstrong straight away.
How do you think he got a hold of your revolver?
Haven't the slightest idea.
Tell me exactly what happened in the night.
Well, after you threw a fit of hysterics and locked yourself in your room, we decided we should all go to bed. And go to bed we did, and locked ourselves in our rooms.
About an hour later, I heard someone pass my door. I tapped on Door's door. He was there all right. Then I went to Dr. Armstrong's room. It was empty. That's when I came to your door and asked you to sit tight, whatever happened. Further, I went downstairs. The window was open and my revolver was lying just beside it.
Why the devil should Armstrong chuck the revolver away?
Don't ask me. Either an accident or he's crazy.
Where do you think he is?
Lurking somewhere, waiting to have a crack at one of us.
then we ought to search the house.
What, walk into an ambush?
I hadn't thought of that.
I'm quite sure you heard no one after we left the house.
Well, Aunt, I heard all sorts of things, but nothing short of setting the house on fire would have got me to unlock my door.
I see. It is just thoroughly suspicious.
Let's stop all this talking. What are we going to do?
You ask me? Sit down, relax, and do nothing. Take no risks at all.
I'd say Lombard. What about a bottle of beer? What's that? A boat? A boat?
Oh, God!
Oh God! Floor has got his!
How?
A booby trap, all set. A wire attached to the door. About something it.
Now there are two.
Yes, Vera, and we shall be very careful for ourselves.
We shan't do it. We'll never get away from this island.
Oh yes, we will. I have never been beaten yet.
Don't you feel that there's someone in this room watching us and waiting?
That's just nose, Vera.
Then you do feel it.
No, I do not.
Please, Philip, let's get away from this house. Anywhere. Perhaps if there was a boat, they'll see us.
All right, all right. We can go to the island. There's a sheer cliff at the end. We can wait for the relief, and if anybody approaches the house, we can see them.
Anything's better than waiting here.
But won't you be rather cold in this dress?
I'd be colder if I were dead.
That's right, we could search.
Be careful, Philip, please.
I'm on floor. There is nothing above, no window directly above it. Well, hello? What's that? Something washed up.
What? It looks like a body.
You better wait in there. I'll take a closer look. It says Armstrong, washed up at high water mark.
So there's no one on the island.
Yes, Vera, and now we know where we are.
Now we know where we are?
A very beautiful trick of yours with that wire. Quite neat, huh? Old Warbears always knew you were dangerous.
You.
So you did drown the kid after all?
I didn't. Believe me. It wasn't me. Please believe me. Please listen to me.
I'm listening. You had better make it a good story.
It wasn't me. It was a man.
Who?
Peter's uncle. I was in love with him.
Oh, this is getting interesting.
Don't sneer. It was hell. Absolute hell. Peter was born after his father's death. If he would have been a girl, he would have got everything.
Well-known tale of the wicked uncle, huh?
Yes, he was wicked. I didn't know. He said that he loved me, but that he was too poor to marry. There was a rock far out where Peter was always wanting to swim to. And of course I wouldn't let him. It was too dangerous. One day we were on the beach, and I had to go back into the house for something I'd forgotten. When I got back to the beach, I saw Peter swimming out towards the rock. I knew he didn't have a chance. The current had gotten him already. I pushed past. I rushed down, and you tried to stop me. Don't be a fool, he said. I told the little ass he could do it.
Don't stop. This is interesting.
I pushed past him, and I rushed down. I plunged into the sea. I swam after Peter. And he was gone before I could get to him.
And everything went well at the inquest. They called you a fluffy girl, Vera, and you kept discreetly quiet about huge part in the business.
Do you think anyone would have believed me?
Oh, you certainly are an accomplished liar, Vera.
Do you think I ever wanted to see him again?
Then I suppose he'll let you down?
Never wanted to see him.
Oh, Vera, your lies. You can't fool me any longer. Are you all right? Are you all right? Vera, are you all right? Oh, you cunning little devil!
If you come one step closer, I'll shoot.
You young, lovely, and quite mad! Vera!
It's all come true. My 10 little soldiers rhyme. My rhyme? My rhyme! Silence in the court! If there's any more noise, I shall have the court cleared. Don't be afraid, my dear. This is a court of justice, and you will get justice. You thought I was dead. You thought I was a ghost. Armstrong said I was dead. Said he'd catch the murderer, fix up my supposed death, so that I should be free to spy on the guilty one. Came to meet me that night at the cliff. I pushed him off ever so lightly. He swallowed my red herring, all right. Where I lay thorn. All my life I wanted to take life. Yes, take life. But I had to contend with sentencing the guilty to justice. But I wanted more. I wanted to take life in my own hands. Silence in the court! But I am a judge of the High Court, and I have an acute sense of justice. For between us, the sovereign lord, the king, and prisoner at the bar, with true deliverance made, guilty! Yes, guilty. You all were guilty, but the law could not touch you. So I had to take the law in my own hands. Anthony Marston first. Then Ethel, Barbicone and the brandy. Mackenzie stabbed, but Rogers with an axe when she was chopping sticks. Though Beverly Brent's coffee so she can feel the hypodermic. And Booby trapped for Blore. Blore was a fool. I always knew I could get Blore. Returning the revolver was a clever touch. I knew you two would fight in the end and suspect each other. The question was, who would win? I banged on you, my dear, female of the species. Besides, having a girl in the end makes it ever so interesting. Prisoner at the bar, have you anything to say? For the sentence should not be passed on to you.
Stop! Stop! I'm not guilty! I'm not guilty!
Must plead not guilty, but that's what they all say. Unless you're going for the verdict of insanity. But you're not mad. I am mad, but you are not mad.
But you're a judge. You know when someone is telling the truth and when they're guilty. I never killed that child. I never wanted to kill him.
So you didn't drown the child after all. That's very interesting. But that doesn't matter at all. I can't spoil my ride. My 10 little soldiers, right? One little boy left all alone and hanged himself. I must have my hanging. My hanging! I must kill you. There.
But I lost you. I thought I killed you.
Oh, thank God women can't shoot straight.
She'll never forget this.
Oh, yes, my dear, you will. You know what? There is another beautiful ending to this rhyme. One little soldier boy, left all alone. We got married, and then there were none.
Boat is ready. Are you coming? Roger, where is everyone? Where is everyone? Where is everyone? Roger?
Hope you enjoyed this presentation of Ekjut. This is truly an Agatha Christie movie. Ooh. Anyway, it's my proud privilege to introduce to you the director, multi-talented director, Pramila Kumar. Pramila.
I hope you all enjoyed the play. It was truly a masterpiece, at least from an author's perspective. I do hope the characters have done justice to the 10 little soldiers.
Ekjut's next presentation is going to be in fall of 2016. There's flyers outside, and in fact, we are soliciting stories for that. So if you are a budding writer, if you'd like to present an idea, please take a flyer from outside the lobby. We are soliciting stories to come in for the fall 2016 play. The play is going to be called Yoni Ki Baat. It's play on empowerment for both men and women. But that's coming up later. What we have today is an excellent, multi-talented cast. And I'm going to introduce to you in the order of how they have entered. Please welcome Fred Narakot, who is Bish Kumar. Roger, who is Sonal Shukla. We have Ethel, who is Sugandhi Iyer. Vera Claythorne, Pooja Jani. Mr. Lombard, who is Girish. Zayed Samsi as Mr. Bloor. General Mackenzie, who is Chinmay. Mr. Marston had to leave for an urgent work. He's not here. Mr. Marston is Sachin Lal. And we have Justice Wargrave, Shubhankar Sharma. And we have Emily Brent, Sonali. And I would also like to thank our host, Indira Chandra. And we have Vivek as Dr. Armstrong. And last but not the least, I would like to thank Anna, who is our live violinist. Anna. Thank you to all for being such a great audience. I hope you have sincerely liked it. And thanks once again for all your patience, appreciation for our hard work. 12 weeks and 120 hours, all Sundays blocked in, and all of these actors, nobody's a professional, they're all amateurs, just with a love of acting and drama and theatres, and that's what we have for you. And then there were